to the Pilates section of week 3 of your weekly video boosters. So for this week, what we're going to focus on is the glutes and the connection with the lower back and the legs through the glutes and how all of the muscles around there interact, moving you together. So what we're going to start with is some lying down on our back exercises where we're getting the feeling of how you roll through the spine and how rolling through the spine, which articulates the spine piece by piece, is helped by using the glutes as the strong foundation for leading the exercise, and that allows the small muscles of the spine to be able to work strongly. We're then going to go on to all fours, and in all fours we can start to work the glutes by rotating the hips. So when we go down onto our backs, we're going to start off with a little bit of hip mobility, just to get the hips a little bit looser, to get the work moving, and then we can move on with some strengthening. So just coming down onto the mat, I've just folded up the end of my yoga mat just a little bit, so that to begin with, the first exercise that we're going to do needs you to be able to slide your feet along the floor, and then we're going to flatten it out again. So I'm just towards the end of my mat. Alright, so from here, we're going to start off with a little bit of the hip mobility. Starting with the left leg, allowing the left hip to open out, slide it along, rotate it up, and drag the heel back in. Going with the right leg, open the right leg out, slide the right leg along, rotate, again so that the toes are pointing up, and drag the heel back in towards you. And again, open, slide, rotate, and draw back in. So the stability is being created for the movement, is being created from the connection that your supporting leg has on the floor, and the work and the stability that your abdominals are creating in order to keep your hips and pelvis stable. So by doing that, we're keeping this connection, and then that allows the leg that's moving, the hip that's moving, to roll in the hip joint, open it out, and slide around, getting that hip to get looser. So we're using the rest of the body to do the stabilising and the control. And release there. Good. So now we can just slide the mat back out so that you've got a better grip with your feet on the floor. So from here now we're going to do going into the pelvic tilts. So starting off, rolling the pelvis under, lifting the tailbone up as we go, and then roll back in. Same thing again, tilting the pelvis back. So what we're getting is the flattening of the back into the mat, the tailbone starts to lift, and then we release and come back again. Same thing again, drawing in, rolling back, scooping up, and then release, and come back down. And again, rolling back, and all the way through. Coming up a little bit higher this time. Articulating the spine. So wanting to start to feel that we're rolling through the spine piece by piece. So from the tailbone, through each bone, through the lumbar spine, and starting to come towards the thoracic spine as we roll up and roll back down again. As the spine articulates, we're using the hamstrings, the glutes, all the muscles that connect all the way through, from the feet up through the knees, right to the top of the head. So we're allowing all the muscles to work naturally as one piece of fascial connective tissue. Everything's working together. We're not thinking, I'm going to squeeze my hamstrings or I'm going to work my glutes. Because the muscles don't work in isolation like that. So we're really going to feel how all of the muscles can work together. So keeping on rolling up through the pelvic tilt, coming up a little higher, and then roll through to come down, and release one more time. And we're coming much higher up towards the rib cage here now. And last tilt and roll. Up towards, now I'm resting on around about my shoulder blades. My hamstrings, tops of my hamstrings and the glutes are working. Fronts of the hips are flat here. And now from here, we're going to just tap the toes and the heels, getting a little bit more activation in the legs. So, one toe's lifting up, then the other toe, and we're going to keep on paddling the toes. Just getting a little bit more activation as we start to make the movement more complex. And rest the feet, heels up, one at a time now. So now the hamstrings are starting to kick in a little bit more. Just taking care that the rib cage doesn't start to lift up to compensate. We're keeping the ribs down. That's going to help to connect with the rest of the body. And now from here, we're going to walk the feet. So we lift up, control down. Lift up, control down. Just watching that nothing changes in through the, keeping the hips stable, through the lower back, the hips, the hamstrings, the glutes. All of this manages to keep and create the stability in the whole of the movement. Last one on each side. And hold here. Now from here, we're now going to lift the left leg up and stretch it up towards the ceiling. And then from here, we're going to roll down through the spine, keeping this left leg up, and then roll back up through the spine, pressing the left leg up towards the ceiling, place the foot down, lift the right leg up, roll down through the spine, roll back up, creating that power with that straight supporting leg, put the foot down, one more on each side. And rolling all the way down and releasing there. Great. I'm going to come up now and come into all fours. So in this position now, we're going to start working the glutes from a kneeling position. So, when we're here on all fours, making sure that the hands are underneath the shoulders, the knees are underneath the hips, and the knees are hip width wide. Just making sure that as you check in with yourself, that you haven't got your knees together, you haven't got your knees miles apart or out behind you. And then from here, again, we're going to articulate the spine. So we're tucking the tailbone under, rolling through the spine, pressing up towards the ceiling. Now from here, I'm going to push back towards the heels. And as we come back up, we're going to lift the left leg out to the side and extend the back a little way. So you can see that my spine is straightened out and I'm lifting my left leg up and out to the side. And then we're going to bring the leg back down, scoop the belly, press yourself back, lifting back up, open out, straightening the spine, lifting the leg. And come back down, one more time each side. Lift up, straighten the spine, opening out, and back down. Straighten the spine, lifting up and out, strong in the whole body to lift that leg. And again, scoop the belly in, pushing back. And this time we're going to lift the leg straight out to the side. Straight leg lifts up, strong in the whole body, straight spine. And come back down. And on the right, lift the leg, straight spine, strong body. Come back down. And again, one each side. Lift, strong, and control. Lift, strong, and control. Back out again. Alright, now we're going to add on to this with the leg this time is going to do some movement as it goes round. So, back onto all fours. And this time we're going to press back again. And we're going to lift the leg out to the side, up, and then it's going to follow back behind. Make sure when you're in this position that your spine is lifted, it's strong and straight, and you're supported and lifted out of this hip. So we're not sinking at all. Everything's working strongly together. I'm going to open that leg back out to the side and then bring it back in. Just rest back onto your heels. And then back up and out and behind you. Open out and control in. One more time each side. Up and out and behind, control and back in, out, behind, control and back in. Good, so we're going to come down onto side lying now. Just do a little section in side lying position. So you've got your arms straight out here and your bottom leg is straight, top knee is bent with your foot on the bottom knee, and then rest your knee down towards the floor. Place your hand in front of your chest for support, and then from here the first thing we're going to do is rotate both legs. So your top leg is going to rotate and your bottom leg is going to rotate, and we're going to think strength in both legs. Strong here, strong in the core as well to support you in this side lying position, and the hips are flat at the front. So don't let your hip drop back behind you as you start to rotate the leg. Make sure you press those hips forwards. And then we're going to rest back down. So opening out, rest back down. Opening out and roll back down. One last time. Open and roll. Now this time we add on, so open. We're going to tap the foot behind on the floor and lift the bottom leg up a little way. Back up into the same position, roll back down. Same again. Rotate, tap, back, roll, rotate, back, tap, roll, rotate, back, tap, roll. Last one. And brilliant. Now, open. Now from here, we're just going to tap. Just tapping. 3, 2, 1. Hold here. Now, just to finish off on this side, we're going to straighten out this top leg. And then from here, we're going to squeeze the heels together with strong, straight legs. Back up. Now, bend the knees, bringing the big toes together. Straighten out. Now this is a funny one. We're going to rotate the legs so that knees come in and your feet come apart, and then open back out again. Same again. Squeeze the heel to heel, straight legs. Big toe to big toe, bent knees. Bent knees, knee to knee, rotating in and straighten out. And release there. And we're just going to flip over to the other side. Same pattern on this side for the last exercise. So, bottom leg straight, top knee sits on the bottom knee, top foot, sorry, sits on the bottom knee, hands in front of you. And from here, rotating both legs out and control as you fold them back in. Rotate rotate both legs out and controlled come in and open and control. One more, open, folding back in on top, and then we open and we're going to tap behind and back up and rotate in, open, tap behind, up and in, open, tap, up and fold in, open, tap, up, fold in. One more. Good. Now we're going to open here and we're going to tap 5, tap 4, tap 3, tap 2, tap 1, hold there. And now from here we're going to extend the top leg out. We're going to squeeze straight legs heel to heel and open. Bent knee to bent knee, toe to toe. Open. Now both knees bend, rotate in, feet apart, knees together, and open out. Straight legs, heel to heel, and open toe to toe, and open knee to knee, and open, and rest out there. Brilliant. Good. Now, if you do, now I hope you enjoyed that bit of work. Getting those glutes and hamstrings really working today gives you a good foundation for walking around and doing everything else that you do functionally. All right, see you next week.